Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You're good. Check, check.
Yeah, you're good.
Check, check.
You're good. afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to everyone watching on the live stream at PotsdamBears.com with my partner, the former Potsdam Bears coach, John Horn. I'm Taylor Salisbury, welcoming you here to the Maxey Hall Arena in Potsdam, New York, as we will have our first of two games this evening here at Maxey Hall in hockey. Starting off with the women's hockey team, taking on the visiting Oswego State Lakers. And John, this is going to be an interesting one because both teams with almost a similar track record this season. And as we were kind of mentioning here before the game, a lot of the points are very, very close together in the SUNYAC Conference.
Well, I'm telling you, this is going to be a good game, and it is a SUNYAC contest game here. Oswego comes in with 6 SUNYAC points. They're currently in 3rd place, but in Potsdam is in 6th place with 3 points. So a lot of points available, actually only starting to come into this really the important part of the season.
As we have the face-off here, and you're watching here on the live stream, you will notice that the Oswego State Lakers are on the right side of the rink. They are going to be in their away dark uniforms, that is green with yellow and white trim, similar to the other hometown, Clarkson University, across the way, and the Potsdam Bears have their usual home uniforms on with white and black with maroon trim.
Did he
off the face-off here, that is going to be won by Oswego State.
Test. Okay.
That'll be won by Oswego State and chipped down here as Potsdam regroups and will shoot it down into the Lakers defensive zone. Loose puck finally picked up here as Smith will slap this one ahead, and she will go off for the line change. Trying to get out of her own zone this time is going to be Clifford. However, she is stopped at her own blue line. That one will come out over the line, and it will have to be passed around a quick few times before finally it's settled by Van Dam. Back for this one is Clifford. Across the ice, Mills will try to go horizontally. Puck went off a skate, and now that one will finally be whipped in by Jessica Bullock, and this time she's going to her bench.
Long shift here, partner, as we get going here. A little bit of technical difficulties to start this game, but the Bears seem to be getting things rolling. That's our first whistle of the game. And hopefully you can hear me.
I can hear you. Hopefully you can hear me.
Okay.
And hopefully the people watching on Potsdam Bears can hear us as well. Thank you very much for joining us wherever you happen to be around, well, campus or around the country.
Bears had a good weekend last weekend with 2 victories over Chatham, albeit so close. First night they had to go to a shootout to secure that technical win. I'm not sure it had anything to do with anything. On the books, it's a tie, but then they won that in overtime last week. So Jalen Castro, really the star last weekend, along with Magali Perrant for the Bears.
And Castro definitely deserves those flowers, as we've mentioned her name quite a few times here. At the start of the first half of the season, there were a couple opportunities where she had chances to score goals and just could not find the back of the net. Speaking of finding the net, that one pops up into the mesh behind Perral, so we're going to have a face-off here to the left of the net.
Well, that shot was from outside the blue line, and Magali Perrant really didn't see it. She was surprised that, I don't know if it was a bad angle coming off the seats or whatever, but she was taken by surprise as she was lucky to deflect that out of play.
D-to-D pass over in the Zamboni corner. This one comes up to the red line at the neutral zone. Chipped in, going after it with a burst of speed is Paradis. However, she has the puck knocked away from her, and this one again will come out to center ice. Going back to regroup is going to be Jessica Bullock. As her pass across got deflected, briefly brought down, and here come the Bears again. Paradis on the left wing side, shot towards the net. However, that missed it completely.
Well, Coralie Paradis has been a factor here in most of the games that I've seen, albeit not able to get on the score sheet too much. I think she had one last weekend, but she's just a beautiful skater and creates all sorts of space because of that skating stride.
Bullock gets by the defender, and she will have supporting cast in Elise Clifford. However, Oswego State does come up with the puck here. It was stopped at the blue line, kept in. I guess Oswego State thought that maybe that one came out and back in. However, they'll bring it down into the offensive zone, where in the slot area, it's stolen away by the Bears. Loose, trickling towards the crease of Perron. It's picked up here by Potsdam. Now going back down the other way is Isabel Boyd.
She had to tag up and get off the ice for that change. Bears lose a little bit of an edge over there with that's Kane going down.
Rachel Kane, one of the captains of this Bears squad. Another dump in there by SUNY Potsdam. However, they just cannot get on track when they're in the offensive zone so far. We're 4 minutes in, and they really, besides maybe one or two chances, haven't really been able to set up shop in the zone.
Well, it's been that way, I think, for both teams here. Either team hasn't had an opportunity. It's been close checking. Well played in the defensive zone here, albeit with Oswego now is starting to establish a little bit of a forecheck, but nonetheless, the Bears have played solid inside their own end, limiting the goal-scoring opportunities for the Lakers.
Yeah, that is one thing that the Bears have been able to pretty much have with consistency so far during this season is their defensive prowess, especially in their own zone, keeping it away from the net. As down in the corner, this one is backhanded forward by Kane, too far for a defender, and that one's going to be kept in here briefly by Power. However, on the opposite side, trying to sprint for it, was going to be Isabel Boyd. As nobody really saw her, she was just sneaking in from the corner.
Far ice pass, their wide wing got an opportunity.
This will be in front of the net, however, no shot. Picked up by Power. She'll put her head up, survey the landscape, drop it for Brittany Iverson, a senior. And now it's Boyd. Getting a piece of it is Paradis, but she cannot chip it out of the zone this time, so they're going to have to try to whip it around to the opposite side half wall. And this is going to be Kane dropping it here for Clifford. Advancing the puck forward. The intended target that time was Paradis, too far for her, as Oswego State quickly tries to come back in, catching the Bears on a line change. There's a knockdown, and coming away with it this time is going to be freshman Marissa Whiteside from Longsault, Ontario.
Yeah, she's done a great job here in her first year, seeing lots of time on special teams, really playing very, very well.
Had an icing call here with 13 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in the opening period. Still scoreless here between the Lakers and the Bears.
We're just going to make a little bit of a technical adjustment. I don't know, Danny, if I can hear myself that well.
I hear you fine.
Okay. Okay.
I think you might be a little loud.
Okay.
So that's good. Here's the face-off, and off the face-off, a little flip shot. Not a whole lot of mustard on it by Gamberg. Was saved by the goalie. That was number 35, Mia DeVito, sophomore goaltender for Oswego State in this game. As we mentioned, Magali Perron, the senior here for the Bears in the pipes.
Good pressure by Mills as she was forcing the D-to-D pass inside the defensive end for Oswego, forcing that play back, and they're able to exit and get the puck over the center ice line.
On the right wing side, this will go across to the left. Here's a shot that goes off a skate, and then getting bulldozed over was Kane. Wow.
Bears have done a nice job clogging up the middle of the ice, especially, lower in the zone. They had a little bit higher pressure there, and we have a Bears player shaken up on the play, skating off under her own power. That looks to be Rebecca Kane, I believe.
Yeah, it was. She got smoked behind the net of Oswego right after, to be actually ironic about it, her sister, Captain Rachel King, took a shot here in front of her own net. So already Oswego showing the aggression here in the first 10 minutes of the opening period.
Talked about this earlier. Oswego comes in and tied for second in the SUNY Conference here behind Plattsburgh. They're currently tied with William Smith with 6 points. The Bears in a playoff spot right now with 3 points, so SUNYAC points are valuable now.
Oh yeah, cannot let any point slip away at this point in time in the season, as we're almost at the end of January.
So a SUNYAC game here and a SUNYAC game tomorrow afternoon, as I believe Canton will be in town.
Here's puck stolen, and here comes Jalen Castro on a breakaway, in on the net. Oh, and she almost slid it in between the posts. However, DeVio gets over in the nick of time.
Moving from her right to her left, she was able to stay with it and get that left pad down. Jalen Castro, I'm not sure if she was trying to go 5-hole or just trying to find an opening down on the ice, but very, very well played by the Oswego goaltender.
DeVivo impressive there on that stop. So we mentioned she's a sophomore here for the Lakers from Plainfield, Illinois. Played for the St. Louis AAA Blues in high school. That will go off the end boards. Almost came out in front of the net. However, it was poked back behind. Now we have a battle on the half wall. Sticks are starting to fly a little bit here. A shot towards the net. Oh, what a nice snap glove save by Powell.
Well, that was probably the best look that Oswego has had. That came off the stick of number 20. That's Dory, Keila Dory from New Lenox, Illinois. And I believe that's correct.
That's what I would say, New Lenox, Illinois, yes. Couple of Illinois players here on this team. And a couple of Canada ones as well here. I see Valencia and a couple other different ones that we can get back here in a little bit. But first, right in front of the Bears bench, the puck has squirted free, and it's going to be brought down the ice here left to right by Clifford. She goes into the center lane, takes a shot, and that one is sticked away by DeVivo.
Clifford stayed with it. She came in and took the zone, had the shot. It was blocked away, but she had her stick on the ice and able to get that rebound off the defender's skate and got another shot.
There's a chance once again as Castro comes down, fires it towards the net, and another paddle save. DeVivo will then pounce on it for a whistle.
Castro, our leading goal scorer with 7 goals on the year, is getting some looks here in the first period. So Bears are getting some looks. I think Oswego may have had a couple of better opportunities, but the Bears are getting the puck on net.
As being taken down there from behind, there's an opportunity, they score! Slipping it in through the 5-hole is Castro, and it's 1-0.
Well, there we go, talking about our leading goal scorer. She continues to set the pace. There was a turnover just to the left of goaltender DeVivo, and she was able to get it and slide it across that goal line. Stick on the ice, good concentration, and our leading goal scorer gets her 8th of the season.
And what poise there by Castro, because she didn't initially take the shot. She came out around on that left side post and gave it a split second so that she could get DeVivo moving and get the 5-hole open enough to get that shot in the net. Here's another chance. Rebound, they score! On the rebound, it's Boyd! And another quick strike puts the Bears Bears up 2-0.
Well, I tell you, the Bears have established a pretty solid forecheck there. They've turned the puck over twice in a row, and that was Boyd who was able to get the puck and beat goaltender DeVivo on the glove hand side. Open net. She didn't seem to square up really nicely to the puck, but again, Bears strike quickly here in the first period with 2 quick ones.
And we have about 9 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the first period of play. Icing called here against SUNY Potsdam.
Well, good solid effort there by Isabel Boyd to get that second goal. We'll have to clean up the assists when we get the statistics, but again, off that forecheck, a couple of touches down low quickly.
As they're now saying the first goal over the loudspeakers, we mentioned it is Castro. There's a shot from close range, and Perron again up to the task. And now it's going to be Boyd tying up the attacker and able to get that free back to the defense. On the right wing side, that one goes too far for Visco as the Lakers bring it back over the blue line. Puck and a stick go flying here, as now it's going to be Parenti leaving it for number 24, that is Jay Seal. On the breakout. That goes off a skate and is stolen away. This is going to be Jay Seal on a 2-on-1. Takes the shot really close in, so that hits Perron right in the chest. Easy stop.
Well, I'll tell you, she did not flinch on that. She stayed with the puck carrier the entire way. There was an opportunity perhaps on the pass, but there was a little bit of back pressure coming from the Bears to catch up on that. Perron sensed that was going to be a shot. She just squared up to that, and it hit her right in the breadbasket.
Gamberg coming in to help Mills. And that one goes over to Purdy as Mills has to track it down. She knocks down Jay Seal. However, she's back up and will shoot this one back into the offensive zone on the tag up for offsides. Gamberg gets away with this one in the corner. Now goes behind the net. This one is stolen away. Can Oswego come up with it? No, it will go back to the neutral zone. And they're going to try it one more time on that right wing side. Iverson going through a body, but the second time was no good, and here's a possible 2-on-1 coming back the other way. It's Purdy, and the pass a little too far for Marandola. However, she still has it. Now she gets hooked out of the ice. No call. Wow. Now it's starting to get a little chippy. You can see some hacking and whacking going on down here, especially from Marandola, who just knocked down a player.
She plays an aggressive style, so she plays on the edge. Sometimes she finds herself in the penalty box, but she's really an aggressive player.
Dory, she'll go down hard to the ice as she went through the stick of Whiteside. There's a pass that hits the back of the stick of Castro and bounces away, bobbled briefly, and now it's picked up again and passed up. That time to Jessica Bullock, who just took a shot into the boards.
There's the referee's a little bit liberal here in this early going with the body contact, so that's okay as long as they stay consistent with it and the players can recognize that that's the way the game's going to be called here, but you don't want to see that up and down and be a little inconsistent. So if it's going to be physical, albeit, have it be that way the entire game.
And of course, we don't want to see anybody on either team get injured during the game, but as long as everybody is physically okay, that is good. Here's a deflection in front of the net. It goes wide as Paradis was looking to make it a 3-goal game. Paradis tied up right now on the half wall as it's taken away by Oswego. On the half wall in the bottom corner. Again, another steal. Great job by the Bears. As you mentioned before, they've had a couple of interceptions in the offensive zone, and 2 of those have already led to goals here so far.
There's just missing that pass, which obviously negated the icing call one way, and yet they're going to have to be the recipient of an icing call here with 5:54 to go in this first period, as the faceoff will come back inside the Bears defensive end, and it's going to be to the right of goaltender Magalique Perron, the captain of this Bears women's hockey team.
Have to think that head coach Olivia Cook below us here in the Crow's Nest is impressed with how her team has played so far in this first 20 minutes of play. And then on the other side, in his 5th season, Mark Digby probably waiting, hoping for this horn to come a little quicker so that he can regroup his team and re-strategize in the locker room during the first intermission.
Albeit for those quick turnovers low in the zone, this has been a pretty even hockey game. And even at one point, I would say it was pretty open ice. It looked like there was a lot of free ice out there for skating, but it's clogged up here a little bit. That's a big save right there by Perron.
And another shot towards the net, but that went wide of the right side post. Chipped down the ice. It will make it, yes, for icing. As we had a couple players fall down here on a collision off the bench near the penalty boxes.
It was Megan Mills who had incidental contact, and accidental, as I would say it as well. And so they both went down and no call made. Gamberg on the face-off there. She's done a nice job. Kingston, Ontario, I believe. No, Upper Dublin, PA. She's done a nice job for the Bears here this year. 2 good first-year centers. Actually, 3 good first-year centers.
Yeah, when you think about it, yes.
You know, they've really done a nice job in the middle of the ice this year with the first-year players.
There's a junior and Bowick with the puck. Cooley will keep this one in for the Lakers as that one got shot down into the Zamboni corner. Back up to the blue line, a shot towards the net, and Perron just knocks this one away quickly with the stick. Now here's another stick battle for possession as Demers is able to dump this one down below the cage. With it now is going to be Ricopelli to the blue line. Ooh, a fancy deke there, nicely done by Pinty.
Very nice.
However, her shot got blocked at the last second. Gamberg will throw this one off the boards as her team is looking to try to get a line change in here. They will successfully, but right now for the Lakers, it's O'Brien who has the rubber. Across for Cooley. There's a shot towards the net, and that one hits the stick blade of Rebecca Kane and went all the way over the mesh.
Well, I think those 2 goals has gotten the attention of Oswego. They've turned it up a little bit of a notch here over the last 4 minutes or so, and therefore checking is starting to result in some turnovers inside the Bears' defensive end. They got to be careful now to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, and it looks like also there's a delayed penalty on the play. Did not notice that. Neither of us did see an arm go up for that. However, it will be Jessica Bullock in the box. I believe they said hooking. I think that was the official call. So it's a power play here. The first one of the contest, and it goes to Oswego. Shot through traffic, stopped. That one bobbles as it gets knocked over the paddle again of Perron and went wide.
Cooley had a chance on the rebound and couldn't quite get enough of it.
Cunliffe looking for an open pass. She finds it. This one goes through traffic. Shot again, misses the net. Now it's on the back of the net, pops loose before the official blows the whistle. Now with it is Cooley. Tape to tape, cross ice pass. There's a shot that was partially fanned on by Dory, and the Bears cannot get it out. Now they'll get a chance as there's a late change by the Lakers, and that will safely be thrown all the way down the rest of the ice by Rebecca Kane.
50 seconds left in this advantage for Oswego. They've had some good zone time possessing it, but the Bears giving a little bit of pressure here in the neutral zone results in a turnover here. 38 seconds remaining.
Another clear that time by Gamberg. As Oswego State has about 30 seconds remaining to try to put something together again here on the power play. Coley across in the corner. There's a one-timer. That goes through the pad and wide of Perron. Now with possession is Erica Parenti. Gets it across for Rico Belli. Her shot is blocked. Nicely done by Clifford as the penalty expires. And coming out onto the ice now from the bench will be Paradis.
The Bears successful on that PK. They're operating at about an 88% success rate so far this year, so that's been one of their strong suits.
I was going to say, watch the foot race, because Paradis, well, you know, can turn on the Jets in an instant. And there's a tripping. That will be a delayed penalty against the Lakers as Kane got tripped up by a skate. So now SUNY Potsdam gets a chance.
Well, that's an interesting call. There's no doubt I figured it to be a call, but the closest referee looking right at the play did not make the call. It was the back referee who actually made that call. Nonetheless, 1:09 to go in the period. Bears will be on the power play or 2 minutes or less, I would say.
So the official call will be tripping, and it's Abigail Dix. However, the Lakers try to come back with a backhander on the penalty kill. That went wide. Here's Castro. Back pass. Corralling that on the give and go. She'll speed away. Brings it up to the blue line, and then she's knocked down. I think the puck has underneath her. Finally, it comes free, and the Bears still have it going in the offensive zone. Nicely done there as Rebecca Kane now backhands it lower down into the zone with 24 seconds remaining on the clock. Clifford has that one knocked and pried away from her. Luckily, she had Bullock in tow to take the puck away. She was the last line of defense. Oh, now here's a chance, but Castro able to get back into the picture frame and steal that away at the last second. Well done.
Well done to say the least, and she got it. Not only did she get the puck, but she used her body to protect the puck, and she was able to gain control and get the puck out into the neutral zone. Very nice play by Jalen Castro.
And the horn sounds to finish the first period of play here at the Maxey Hall Arena, as in our first game of two this evening in the women's hockey contest. We are now looking at a 2-0 score here in favor of SUNY Potsdam. As you mentioned, it went back and forth for most of that first half of the first period, and then just two giveaways there by the Lakers end up going into the back of the net.
Well, I'll tell you, we've got the statistics here. We'll give it as best we can. They may want to take a look at it, but anyway, at 10:07 of the first period, it was Jalen Castro getting her 8th of the year. Marandola would pick up the assist. That's her 3rd. But then it would be Isabel Boyd at 10:23. 2 quick ones with the assist going to Coralie Paradis. Shots on goal in that period had the Bears out shooting the Lakers 9-8. So we'll be taking a break here, but when we come back for the second period, the Bears will have 51 seconds remaining on the power play.
And we will also have a few, hopefully, updated out-of-town scores. Plenty of action this afternoon. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on PotsdamBears.com. Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, on PotsdamBears.com, as we are coming back to here during the first intermission at Maxey Hall for women's hockey, where currently the SUNY Potsdam Bears lead the Oswego State Lakers by a score of 2-0. Late in that first 20 minutes of play, it seemed like it was going to be a very even back and forth game, which technically it has been. However, in the defensive zone, Oswego State has had more trouble than the Bears have in the first 20 minutes of play, and because of that, it resulted in 2 goals. With John Horn, I'm Taylor Salisbury. We are just about ready to kick off our middle frame here of the game, as we have a few more technical glitches going on here. We're hoping that we're able to figure it out not only for the rest of this game, but for the second game this evening, which will be at 7 p.m. as the men's hockey team is here tonight against the SUNY Canton Kangaroos. We have a Route 11 rivalry in Division III hockey and a Route 11 rivalry across town at the same time, as Clarkson will be hosting
testing
St. Lawrence University. All right, I think we now are back in business here.
No.
Partner?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me. Okay. So right now, the puck has been dropped on the face-off. It's going to be won here by the Bears. Bringing it down the zone is going to be there. That was Paradis, and she will now go back up to the top of the circle at the blue line. This is going to be Whiteside, and she spins away from a check. Passed along. Rachel Kane with a shot. Does not get to the net. It's in the zone, as this one's going to be flipped off the glass and down the ice. Nicely done there by the Lakers, as this is going to be the period of the late line change.
testing.
Backhanded back in here by Rachel Kane.
Should be able to hear.
And now at the blue line, it's going to be Megan Smith. Smith will put this one into the offensive zone. However, the Bears quickly come back up with it and are flying out of their own zone. Possible 2-on-1 back the other way, as Mirandula has control of it. Though a blind pass backwards is intercepted in the passing lane by the Lakers. Looked like there was also a hit thrown on by Clifford to Rico Belli, and she's having a hard time getting back to the Laker bench.
And no call on that. Glad to be back with you, partner. So
I know. I thought I lost you in the void of electronics.
Well, I think we had one too many headphone sets here.
Probably. We're kind of going a little too far into cyberspace right now, but however, here's a shot, and now another one! Tong slides over beautifully for the save and the butterfly.
Very good scoring opportunity for the Lakers there, as they were able to get control of the puck off to the right of goaltender Magali Perrant, but she was solid on that save to hold on for the faceoff.
So as we were saying, in that first period of play, the Lakers having a little bit of difficulty in their own zone. The puck was taken away twice and resulted in goals. Here's a chance for Oswego State, as they took the puck away this time from the Bears in their own zone.
Good shot from the top of the face-off circle from the defender who had snuck in there. Got the shot, and that was just deflected away.
Cross-ice pass, that one deflected in front of the crease. However, it will go behind the netting. Now with it is DeSeal. That puck will again go off a composite stick and is knocked out into center ice. Nicely done by Josie Purdy. Delayed penalty coming up here against the Bears, as running to the bench is DeVivo. We have another piece of lumber on the ice, and the call is going to be a tripping.
Oswego seems to have shaken off their bus legs and have picked up the tempo considerably here at the start of this second period. I was out of commission there for a bit, but the Bears had not been successful on the 52 seconds that were left on the power play to start the period here, and now they're going to have to kill one off of their own here. Oswego with good possession off that faceoff.
That tripping goes to Victoria Pro. She'll sit for 2 minutes or less and think about what she's done. Meanwhile, Oswego gets their second crack at it on the power play. There's a wrist shot that was aimed for the top corner, but Perron says no, and covers it.
I think that might have been even off net, but it was certainly shooting for that open part of the top part of the glove side net. She was able to get it and hold on to it and shut it down for the face-off opportunity for the Bears, of which the Bears will win.
Bullock loses that one, as at the blue line it's kept alive. Pinty. Stick handling, Dipsy Doodle at the top of the circle, puts it back there as Coley will leave it there for Parenti. Now across again, Pinty. Passing it, it's a short one there that time for Rico Belli. And she tries to deflect it out in front of the net, but could not get a piece of it. And it's going to be cleared out of the danger zone by Rebecca Kane.
Bears had a good clear there that time. They didn't the one before. They had plenty of time to get the puck out, but just tried to shoot it up the sidewall and was kept in by the defender. So you've got to make sure that if you get possession of the puck, you've got to keep it or make sure that you can get it out. Don't play for the other team.
Absolutely not, as right now Jay Steele will receive a pass, getting it over to the left wing side, no dice. Now she'll fire one towards the net, however, it was wide on the right side.
Good play by Gamberg to let that puck go by and not take the chance for the redirect.
As there's only about 17 seconds remaining here on the power play. Here's another shot. Perron makes the save. It's still loose and just a pile of bodies. Fanning on the pass there was Jay Seal, and then Purdy was able to chip it out of the defensive zone.
Well, good defensive play there. A couple of good saves, and the Bears are on their way here back to even strength hockey.
Lakers go 0 for 2 so far on the power play, as stopping on a dime there was Dory. Her initial pass was stolen away. However, Oswego quickly regains possession. Nope. Now it's chipped away, that time by Whiteside, who was trying to put some pressure on. That looked like it could have been a delayed offsides. However, play will continue here, as now there's a shot by Petrick that just misses the net. The Lakers, as you mentioned here a few minutes ago, John, really not hitting the net as much as SUNY Potsdam has done when they've had their opportunities in the offensive territory.
Well, if they keep in the offensive territory as much as they've been for the start of this period, they'll get some of those shots on net. The ice really seems tilted in Oswego's favor right now.
Absolutely, as here's another chance. That one is deflected up and over the crossbar by Brittany Iverson. That's probably as close an opportunity literally right in front of Perron as you're going to get at the moment. And it just went over the crossbar a little too high.
Yeah, just got a little redirect on that, but the ice time has been considerably significant here in the for the advantage of the Lakers. 14:09 to go in the second period, and the Bears have got to find a way to relieve some of that pressure.
Iverson was actually trying her best. Sidney Crosby on that one. He actually scored a goal almost exactly like that in the game last night against the Edmonton Oilers.
Good keep over there on the sidewall by the Oswego defender who had pinched in.
That was Van Dam, a junior from Pittsburgh, New York. And now she's going to swing in to try to keep this puck going forward for the Lakers. This time it's O'Brien, as she'll get away from a defender. Drop pass. That one is poke checked away. Nicely done by Paradis. And can the Bears finally get it out? They do. That's going to bobble over the stick of Castro in front of the Bears bench. still loose. That's going to go off the hand of Paradis and go into the Bears bench as she was trying to change up.
That faceoff will come out into the neutral zone here. Bears going for a significant change. Actually, they're going to move that faceoff back into the Oswego zone. That's a bit of a curious positioning here. They might have seen that a little bit differently, but good faceoff win by the Bears. Marandola on that draw.
As this one is shot back down into the corner by Rachel Kane. She'll get it right back across the blue line. Here's another Rachel towards it, and they score! Deflected by Rebecca Kane, and the Bears lead 3-0.
Well, that's Victoria Prue who took the shot from the point. Tremendous redirect there by Rebecca Kane. Got the stick on it for sure. The senior from Skaneateles, New York, gives the Bears that third 3-goal lead. And Oswego with the dominance of the play so far in the period, but the Bears were able to come away with the goal so far.
Absolutely shocking. Just the capitalization of the Bears right now, as literally they come down here on one opportunity and get a nice deflection in the back of the net.
Well, that was a good shot from Prue at the point, who actually was looking, I think it was more of a pass than a shot, but she got it onto the stick of Kane and just got that favorable redirect for the Bears.
And if you're part of this Lakers team, you definitely have to be more than frustrated with how much effort you have been putting in, especially in this first 8 minutes of the second period, when you've had basically 90 to 95% of the time of possession.
Almost a redirect there for the Bears. Sophia Lease got her stick on the puck just off the far post.
Smith has this one. She will get tangled up. That will be fluttered across the ice. Picking it up and having to skate backwards is going to be Leah Coley. Here's a pass. Oh, misses the intended target. That was Rico Belli. Otherwise, that could have been a breakaway opportunity for the Lakers on Perron.
Yeah, good pass would have certainly created some space, no doubt about it. But it did make it all the way down to Magali Perron, who held on to it. 11:49 to go, and the face-off's going to be to her right here. That's going to be a face-off win by the Lakers. I thought Gamberg had done a nice job on that, but Oswego had ended up picking up the puck off of the scrum.
Now circling around, a pass will be received by Rico Belli. Up to the top. That's a big rocket. However, again, it goes wide by Petrick. She tries it again. Perron again just puts her hand up and says, I got it.
Fortunate enough to get a clean look at that. She was able to see it. The shot did have some muster on it, but
the waves did part there for a good while. Yeah, so she was able to see that.
She got a good look at it.
Another face-off win here by the Lakers. However, telegraphing the pass. Here's a chance going the other way is Paradis. She has to go down into the corner to control the puck, and this one is going to be scooped up by the Lakers. Flipped along off the boards. It's Petrick. Advancing the puck forward, Rico Belli to the right wing side. That one goes off a body and towards the net. Perron plays it. And now, again, Paradis is going to try to go the other way, right to left.
She just got ridden off the puck there. Had an opportunity. Bears are going to go on, get a penalty here. That's going to be
Clifford.
Elise Clifford. That's going to be going off for the interference call.
And, it didn't really look like a whole lot of contact. However, in the end, it is the right call by the official.
Oh yeah, no question.
She did put her full body in front of the attacker.
No question about it.
As we're about halfway through the second period, it is now 3-0 for the Bears as they're down a player here. But they're still putting on some nice pressure.
Konishnik on the nice play there. Got the puck down the ice, gave it a good chase, delayed the breakout.
You just wanted to say it, didn't you?
I did.
Pinty surveys the landscape, passing it across on the left wing side, right in front of the net. Here's a chance. It's poked free. Perron gets her trapper on it, and then for good measure coming in, she'll get a stick from Mujeski before the whistle is blown.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Mujeski had the body positioning in there and was able to get her stick on that. It's always a tough play now in modern hockey where you can't occupy those sticks as much as you would like, so you almost have to wait until the puck gets there before they call, albeit they would call an interference call. Back in the day, you could occupy the stick in the body, but you can't do that anymore.
And I thought she was somewhat of a big-sized player, but I didn't realize this. She's a junior. She is 6'2".
Yeah.
From Peoria, Arizona.
The hotbed.
Yeah, and she also played for UMass Boston in the NCAA.
Okay.
As that one was iced down by the Lakers. They'll come back down here to the left of netminder DeVivo. 55 seconds remaining here in the power play for the Lakers.
Nice face-off win. I think that's Whiteside that had that.
Shot towards the net, misses. And here's a big pass. Call it a two-liner if you want. However, it was gorgeous. And it was just unfortunately misplayed by Mujeski because she had a chance. Across the ice, wide open is Pinty to receive that one. It was a gorgeous pass. She gets it right back on a give and go. Now she'll try to shoot. Tough angle shot. Perron sticks to that post. And another shot from a tough angle, as now it might be the sound strategy to try to find just a little space between Perron and the post to squeeze it in for at least the first goal here for Oswego State. Another shot and a save by Perron.
Yeah, shot from the high slot. Again, the easier of the saves for Perron, as she had a good look at it. But both of those previous shots, they were definitely going short side high. She was able to get over there, but she's not a large woman by any stretch. She's short, and so by trying to go up high on the short side, that's something that they've been thinking about.
She does have amazing reflexes, though, between the pipes. As again, Oswego State no good on the power play, as they will sit on the stat line at 0-3. And it's 3-0 here still for the Bears. 8 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the middle frame. This comes out into the slot area. However, little miscommunication there. Cooley could not get a shot away. Cooley going after this one. It's a foot race as she will collide with Bullock. She put it down low, and now she tries to go after it again as it came out in front of the net. It gets as far as the blue line. It's chipped off the glass. That is poke checked away. Nicely done there by Jay Seal. However, the puck has finally come out for the Bears, who desperately need to try to get in a wholesale line change, and they will.
Well, again, here's that solid pressure, continued offensive pressure for Oswego. Bears having trouble getting out.
Talking about they score! A shot from the right side half wall by Tilly Petrick finally beats Perron underneath the blocker, and it is now 3-1 with 7:24 remaining.
Seems like that was a shot that probably could have been saved on that one. I did not get a good clean look at it, but it surely was a shot from some distance away.
And again, we were talking about the tough angles. That was not the toughest of angles, but it's fairly close. So maybe that is the new strategy here for the Lakers.
Well, now it's a 2-goal game, 3-1 with 7:12 to go in this second period. Oswego drawing to within 2 on that shot from the side angle.
Puck kicked up into the faceoff circle at center ice. Now it's Petrick again, who will throw this to the opposite side boards. Picked up by DeMars. And DeMars is going to help out her partner, Rico Belli, as she will get free. Another shot from a tough angle coming out behind the net. That one misses the glove of Perron.
Bears holding on for dear life here.
Yes.
Throughout the balance of this period, the more zone time, offensive zone time, clearly has been Oswego. Perron making several good saves there, but the Bears blocking things around and making it difficult to get good shots on the goal, but they can't formulate a clean breakout.
Little communication here as it looks like Bullock was going to go after it. However, she allowed Visco to pick up the puck. It was tipped down the ice. No icing as it was waved off. As Oswego State will break out of their own zone. Nobody in the vicinity of the loose puck. And it's going to be chipped back down here into the Bears offensive zone. That went off of a stick blade. O'Brien has it. Wrist shot goes off a skate. Nice execution there. However, it did not result in a goal. Puck will go down the ice here. Last one back for it is Jayceal, and her pass, errant, misses. Here's a chance, 3-on-2, and that one goes off a skate as the Bears just did not spread out enough there. Here's a shot, it's in there, but Perron makes a great save in the chest.
50-50 decision there on that offensive rush for the Bears, as in the slot area. The shot could have been taken, but preferred to have that little bit of a drop pass that didn't result in a shot getting taken by the Bears, and it was that turnover that allowed the Lakers to go down and get a good clean shot from the left-hand side, forcing Perron to make a solid play.
Only a few minutes remaining here in the second period of play, less than 5 minutes to be exact, as the Bears are holding on here to a 3-1 lead. That one got through the defense, however, no shot taken there by Sirens. Both teams jockeying to regain control of the puck. Now it's brought down here. A shot almost deflected in front of the net as Power let that go. However, the puck did come back out into the neutral zone, and that's going to be intercepted. Marindula, shot! Ooh, that just went off the leg of Power and barely missed the open net.
Errant pass in the neutral zone and a turnover on the blue line gave Marindula that opportunity to go in and get a shot towards the goal.
Home run pass, it will be tipped. No, they're going to say that Kane did not get a piece of it with her stick, and that is coming back down here on the icing.
Icing call, 4:02 to go here, 3-1. Oswego with the most recent goal. Didn't get the name of who scored that. Did you see that?
The one, I believe it was Tilly Petrick, because she was pinching down here on the board, and I think she just took a quick shot. We will have the official stats here during the second intermission of play. That'll be coming up here in less than 4 minutes. But right now, still some time here and work to be done by both teams, as this one is going to be taken away in midair by Rebecca Kane. Her slap shot flutters to the net and safely into the glove of Mia DeVivo.
Well, Petrick was coming over with a good amount of speed to challenge Kane. 5'11" defender was giving Kane a second thought on taking a lot of time with that shot.
Behind the net, that one's going to go through everybody, back to the blue line, shot, hits a body, that was right side, and will go down into the Zamboni corner. Picked up here by Coley, her pass hits Cooley, and now it goes across here for Mujewski. Shot towards the net, deflected, and they're going to wave it off. It's a high stick in front of the net.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Referee on the spot saw it. The shot was high off the shot from the blue line, and the only way that would have gone in if it would have been obviously below the crossbar, but it certainly was above the crossbar when it left the stick of the defenseman.
And Perrault instantly looking back at the official saying high stick, high stick. So I do believe this will be official, as now there will be a little bit of chatter down here at the Lakers bench between Coach Digby and the officials. So everybody will just kind of wait here at center ice. One way or another, the faceoff will be back here at center ice.
You know, we talk about it. We'll talk about it in the next game and the next game after that. There's a point and play here before too long where camera replay is going to have to become a factor here at Division III hockey. The technology is there. It's just that we don't have the opportunity to use it officially.
Yeah, and you do. You have to wonder when that conversation, I mean, it's probably been ongoing, but you really have to wonder when it will have a serious consideration to be implemented here in Division III women's and men's hockey, as well as other sports in Division III. This one is cleared by the Bears as delayed offside is tagged up here by the Lakers. Picked up. Jay Seal looking across the ice. It was deflected briefly, and the Bears will regain possession. Castro trying to use her body to her advantage. Jay Seal rubs her off the puck. 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining here before the second period has concluded. And a shot in, a dump in there is on target, and that is just going to be a cover up by DeVivo. And I believe the faceoff should be to the right side here. Yes, it will be.
Well, she was looking to keep the puck in play, but it didn't appear that her teammates were having much to do with it there. There was only token pressure, and that pressure was late coming from the Bears, though. But when the offensive look started to formulate for the Bears, she put her glove on it and stopped it. So
Parenti won that face-off in the defensive zone. Nicely done. As it's going to be another battle here in the neutral zone. Chipped along. Power backhands this one around the end boards. Now in the far corner, Sonny Potsdam trying to get it out here as Gamberg will pass it along, and that is chipped off the boards. Nicely done to Mills, who was streaking in. Shot towards the net, goes off a body. And regrouping here. Oh, a little bit of miscommunication, and wow, Patrick had to really keep herself up there. She almost fell on the miscommunication. Now with it is Bullock. Bringing it up by herself. She'll get bodied as she chipped it forward by Power. And the puck again comes out to center ice. 1 minute remaining in the second period of play, and the Bears still lead by 2.
Boy, I'll tell you, that Paradis can skate. She is a fine, fine skater.
Well, now she's going to have to blow back as fast as she can. Actually, that one went off the skate of Bullock, who is really at the tail end of her shift here, as well as Rathburn. Puck goes down the ice, and it will be an icing here against Oswego.
30 seconds to go here as we get to the final important part of these face-offs here. The Bears, you want to be face-off accountable. I don't care at what part of the rink you're in. Make sure you mark up and take your player. Determine whether you want it or not, but don't lose your player. I don't care where that face-off is.
Marandula tied up her player on the face-off win. However, when the puck came free to her, she couldn't take a shot. Cooley gets a shot off here for the Lakers. Perrault punches it down into the corner. Off the half wall. That one was a little bit behind Rebecca Kane. She could not come up with it. Now it's going to go up into the corner with 3 seconds remaining. Here's a quick shot possible. Yes, but it's wide, and that will terminate our second period of play here at the Maxey Hall Arena, as in our first game of hockey this afternoon in women's hockey, SUNY Potsdam leads Oswego State 3-1.
Well, look, the Bears fortunate to get out of that one, in my opinion, only being, only giving up the one goal. I think that Oswego certainly had the territorial advantage, and they got a lot of shots, if not on goal, towards the goal in that period. So the Bears fortunate enough to be able to walk into the locker room with a 3-1 lead against the Oswego Lakers. Stats in that period had Victoria Prue getting credit for that goal, at least unofficially. The shot came from the point. We thought it was a redirect by Kane. It certainly looked that way, but Victoria Prue is being credited with the goal. And that came at 6:57. That gave the Bears a 3-goal lead, but it would be at 12:36 that Tilly Prethrick would score unassisted from the right-hand side if you're looking at the goal to draw to within 2 goals for the Lakers. Shots on goal in that period had the Lakers out shooting the Bears 16-3. And that is pretty much what I would say would be an accurate representation of what occurred in that second period. All that being said, nonetheless, the Bears lead this game 3-1, and we'll be back here in about 12 minutes or so, eh?
Yes, we will. We'll have those updated out-of-town scores. There were only 2 there in the first intermission, as Buffalo State was leading Morrisville 2-0, and then Plattsburgh and City Kansas were scoreless. We'll see what it's at now, but we'll be back here in about 12 minutes on PotsdamBears.com. Here of our women's hockey match. Second period, Oswego really gained control there in the middle frame. It seemed like the ice was tilting in their favor. Only able to get one goal on the opportunities they did have, and then SUNY Potsdam is able to get a goal as well on one opportunity. Very strange.
Well, Magali Perron can be very stingy, and there's no doubt about that. And she was a factor in that second period, as she has been in most games that she's played this year. But when they got outshot 16-3 in that period, and that's an accurate representation of the territorial advantage. And that doesn't also represent the number of shots that went towards the net and weren't characterized as a shot on goal. So the Bears have got to be careful here. They've got to figure out a way to, in my opinion, be a little bit more patient with the puck on their breakout. They seem to be tossing it around just a little bit, but a 2-goal lead certainly is not insurmountable with this Oswego team that is currently in a tie for second place in the standings.
Before we start the third period here, we will give you the updated out-of-town scoreboard on the two other SUNYAC games that are going on. As right now, Buffalo State leads Morrisville at home 3-0 at the end of 2 periods of play. And the other game right now, SUNY Canton and Plattsburgh are tied. They're still scoreless after 40 minutes of play. And the Lakers just almost popped in another goal here as only 30 seconds into the third period.
Well, the Lakers have come out firing here. That's if I counted correctly, that's the fourth shot towards the goal. A couple have been on goal, so they're gonna put all the rubber they can on goaltender Magali Perron, looking for either a face-off or a rebound or a goal one way or another. But they're going to try to put as many shots towards that goal as they can. They're not going to be too cute here.
Pinching down and keeping this one going is Van Dam, and behind the net it's going to be DeMars. Shot from the top of the circle as the pass connected with Cunliffe is again knocked aside with the stick of Perron. This one almost an interception in front of the net as the Bears finally move it to the side and will chip it out to center ice.
Good decision there by the Lakers defender. As she was able to, instead of just dumping it in, she was able to carry it in and set up an opportunity.
For the Bears, it's Rebecca Kane as she will come over the blue line, take a shot that goes behind the net, and this one again comes out to the neutral zone, tag up here on the delayed offside.
We thought Rebecca Kane got credit for that goal in the second period, but it was actually Victoria Prue that would end up getting that goal. So that must have been redirected off an Oswego stick then.
There were definitely plenty of bodies in front of the net. That would not be out of the norm if indeed that was what happened.
Well, some of the indicators that we look at oftentimes is what's the celebration look like, and it looked to me like she was acknowledging that she thought she got it.
Castro took they're going to call it a tripping, but she took a hit right on her shoulder, and she is now down on her back.
And that is not good news for the Bears. That is the Bears' leading scorer with 8 goals on the year. She appears to be able to start to get up under her own power, and she is a bit shaken up for sure.
Definitely clutching that hand towards her chest on the left side, and it definitely looks like maybe she had the wind knocked out of her. However, it will be, at least I thought, a power play, or yes, there will be a power play here for SUNY Potsdam, as in the box already is freshman Julia Power, the defenseman from Georgetown, Ontario. And this is, I believe, only the second opportunity in the game for the Bears on the power play. They would be 0 for 1.
Bears got to be careful here and make sure that their passes are purposeful. Oswego will take chances and look forward to a shorty.
Coming back the other way with it is going to be Cooley as she stops on a dime trying to pass it to a winger, and it's stolen away here by the Bears. Nice pass forward is picked up here by Smith as she will be pressured from behind by Prue and lose control of the puck. She'll now skate off for the line change here as SUNY Potsdam tries to get something going out of their own zone here as they only have about a minute and change remaining in the power play.
Marandola with it now in the corner. She'll come around the weak side. Bears try to get possession.
Castro doesn't really get a whole lot of force behind that pass across the ice. She may still be dealing with some lingering pain there as right now with the puck, that's going to be thrown up the boards to the opposite side by Victoria Prue.
It's offsides.
And it is called on the offsides on the Lakers.
Bears not able to establish really any possession in the offensive zone right now. There's really been nothing going on in either way other than the fact that whenever the possession takes place, there's a challenge to that and there's a turnover in the opposite direction. But securing the puck inside the offensive zone, the Bears will attempt to get this now with 27 seconds to go in the power play.
Bullock chipped that one off the glass to herself, got it to the opposite side for Rachel Kane, and then she left it for Whiteside. Whiteside will shoot this one down into the corner as we have a couple bodies trying to get after it here, and finally it's brought from the end boards, shot down the ice. Clearing it was Pinty as she goes off for a change.
Bears did not get a shot on goal on that power play.
So they go 0 for 2 now. Neither team has been able to come up with a cash in off the power play as this will be Jane Gambert. Her pass goes through the defense. That was Jay Seal. And it's picked up here by her partner, Van Dam. With speed, she gets through the defense. Couldn't get the shot off. That was deflected. Nicely done by the Bears on defense. Going after it was Lease. However, it was knocked away from her by the Lakers, who come back the other way on the left wing side. Parenti was looking to pass it out into the center lane, but she has to put it behind the net of Perron. Van Dam tied up, and coming in is Parenti. The puck goes off her blade a little too far, and it's taken away here by SUNY Potsdam, backhanded along by Sophia Lease, who is looking to get off the ice. Coming back right to left, here's a shot towards the net, knocked away as Petrick was looking for her second goal of the game.
Well, I'll tell you, a lot of room for her as she was able to gain the zone and then skate right down into the middle of the ice and get a clear shot on goal. They got to challenge that a little bit better than what was exhibited there.
Petrick with a blind pass up the half wall as pinching there was Rachel Kane. However, here comes the breakout. Iverson has one to beat. She does, however, Kane was able to get back in time so that she could only poke check it to the opposite side of the post. Nobody was there. Longs will get this back on a pitch and catch. Nice little stick handling there as she gives it back here to Pinty. Her shot ripped wide, and again pinching down low. This time is Coley. She'll get knocked down. Lons loses this one, and it's going to be a one-on-one chance here as Mills comes in. Shot! She scores! What a shot by Megan Mills! And it's 4-1 Potsdam!
Well, I think she used the defender as a screen there. As she came down, the goaltender lost sight of the puck for ever such a brief period of time. back in the net just a little bit, but Mills comes down from the right-hand side. Number 6, the defender there, we're looking here as Lance. She was able to stay in front of her, but when Mills moved further to her left, just took the puck sight away from DeVito there, and the Bears will take that 3-goal lead back, perhaps on the first shot of the third period for the Bears.
Yes, that is a good question. Got to wonder if that was exactly what happened. But now the Bears regain that 3-goal lead here with 13 minutes remaining in regulation. As going down, picking that one up and quickly throwing it off the boards was Pro. That goes off a skate. And again, this time coming down with it is Konishnik. Tied up on the boards. Trying to kick this one free with her skate. As also in there is going to be, I believe that's Castro. For the Lakers, it was Smith, and Van Dam, finally the official, blows it dead.
Well, that was such a great shot by Megan Mills, and very thoughtful on how she moved that puck from her right to her left, and then just off the stick side, piping in.
Picked up here by the Bears. Bullock passing it on the half wall. Regaining possession there was Rebecca Kane. However, the puck came out over the blue line, and now the Lakers are going to track it down here as they go into the offensive territory. Back up to Power in front of the Bears bench. She'll take a shot through traffic. Net is still on the moorings as there was a collision between Perrault and Mujeski.
Yeah, if that would have gone over that way, there would have been goaltender interference.
Absolutely.
On that one.
Picked up here by the Bears. D-to-D pass behind the net. And again, once more in the Zamboni corner. That's Clifford up to Castro. Castro trying to get away from Dory. However, she could not do that. This puck will go down the ice in the crease towards the net and is just safely knocked away by DeVivo. And then a knockdown there at the blue line as almost being blindsided there was Dory by Visco.
Well, the saving grace on that is she was going for the puck. Because that could have been just as easily called, but again, she had her stick on the puck, and the Oswego players' skates were there as well. So
Parenti trying to get through as she was squeezing on Rachel Kane. Ooh, that pass was intended for Boyd, who we actually haven't heard a whole lot about this afternoon, actually. I don't believe I called her name in the second period. That time she pokes it towards the net. However, DeVivo was already there and down on the ground to make the stop.
Yeah, she was a little more active in the first period, but so were all of the Bears.
Yes.
I don't think in the second period we had an opportunity to call many of the Bears' names because of the offensive possession time of the Lakers. But that's changed here just a little bit here in the third period as we have just over 10 minutes to go with the Bears in that 3-goal lead.
Konishnik won the faceoff. However, Oswego State has come back down here the other way, right to left. Gamberg trying to steal this one away again as they will kick and scrape for it. Van Dam will get that across, and now back again in front of the net. Ooh, she tried to go short side, and Perrault was not fooled. Sprawling, it's loose, and Perrault somehow makes the save in the crease.
And she had some help, I think, from Jessica Bullock there as the puck was creeping towards the goal line. I'm not sure if Perrault scrambled around and actually got that or whether Bullock was able to shuffle the puck back underneath her pad, but nonetheless, dangerous play. Interesting choice of shots there for the Oswego player that tried to go short side, blocker side, but nonetheless, what a terrific save by Magali Perrant.
And a nice round of applause by the fans here in attendance for that effort by SUNY Potsdam to keep this a 3-goal lead. As Purdy will put her defender into the boards. As the Bears try to get the puck, it's taken away though by the Lakers. They can't get out of their own zone. Finally they do briefly. It will be a delayed offside. However, it's quickly waved off. Knocked back into the zone. A couple of bodies fall down on the contact. As trying to come in was gonna be number 9, Fiona Sierens, with a shot, but there was an offsides by Rico Belli in the middle lane.
Good call by the officials there. 9:19 to go. We'll remind you that the men's team will be in action here at 7 o'clock facing the SUNY Canton Kangaroos. That will be a league contest. Important opportunity for the Bears to get back on the winning trail after dropping 2 last week. But the women will be back here tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock as they face SUNY Canton as well.
And you will be able to hear this evening's game as well as tomorrow afternoon's game on both Mix 96.1 FM, or you can watch the live stream here on PotsdamBears.com, or if you would like, there's still obviously plenty of seats available here to see it live at Maxey Hall. As Cunliffe tries to keep this one from going over the blue line, she does it successfully. However, now the Bears are going to regroup here and come out of their own zone.
Castro getting the puck along the sidewall. The opportunity for a long stretch pass to Castro. She will get it and just touch it in before Oswego will get control of it.
Picked up here by Coley, and she connected with a pass to Cooley. Cooley looking in front of the net. That goes through everybody. Back to Coley at the blue line. Across to the right side. Shot off the skate of Mujeski as Pinty let that one go. It will come back up here to Pinty. Takes the shot. Here's a pass. Shot again. That time at the top of the circle is blocked by from Dory.
You gotta wave that off.
And it looks like there's going to be an icing call here.
Yeah, that wouldn't have made it. That was the Canton player. The Oswego player just did not make an attempt to get that puck at all.
And it looks like Oswego skate has already pulled DeVivo with 7 minutes and 43 seconds remaining. Wow, I'll tell you, that's guts right there.
Why not?
I didn't know Patrick Law was down on the Lakers bench.
Why not?
In any event.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Why not try to take the risk at this point? Coley across. Pinty will give it back to her. Slap shot through traffic. Stopped. And loose. However, it goes wide of the net as Perron made the initial stop with the glove.
And that puck did go wide, and there was an opening there.
Oh, there was definitely an opening on the left side, as this one again will go off a body. Fanning on the shot that time was Cunliffe, and the puck will go into the Zamboni corner. Cunliffe back up to the defense. As a shot, will now be taken again. Here's a rebound towards the net as it went off a body again in front of the net. As you mentioned, the Bears very good at putting the body in front of the puck in the defensive zone.
They blocked a lot of shots here tonight, especially in that slot area, so Bears were able to clear.
As Boyd was looking for Bullock, however, they just missed that. Bullock smokes a player into the boards, and she is shaken up. That is Rico Belli.
Ill-timed as well, because now you're going to see as many players on the ice, offensive players on the ice as Oswego can put out there. So it's going to be a 6-on-4 for sure.
And Coach Digby for the Lakers will take the timeout here to try to set up the play on the board for the Lakers here. 6 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in the third period as the Bears still lead 4-1.
Yeah, Coach Digby has a lot of experience. He's been around the game for a long, long time. And knowing right now that there's really no difference between losing 5-1 and 4-1, or it doesn't make any difference here. So get the goalie out. Let's see what we can do. I'm in favor of that thought process. And oftentimes it gives your team a little bit of a spark to play just a little bit harder, and so that's a good process now. Bears take that ill-timed penalty now, so we're going to see a 6-on-4 power play for the Lakers, so the Bears are going to have to hold on tight here.
Well, I guess the blessing in disguise here for the Bears is that if they throw it down the ice, there's no icing.
There's
so
no
at this
icing.
point, you're able to take the risk.
Yeah, if you can get the risk, and no doubt about it, and at least try to throw it towards the net, you might get lucky enough to get that goal. But you got to be careful here, and this is the thing that happens. You'll see it. If they can get possession of the puck, you want to keep possession of the puck. I'm talking about the Bears now. Don't just throw it around, and don't try to clear it unless you can be sure you're going to clear it. Possess it, shut it down, hold on to the puck, do the best you can. But as I said before, just throwing it around and throwing it to other players, all you're doing is playing for the other team.
Parenti looking across. It's Jay Seal. Now here's a chance. One-timer. What a save by Perrault! And now the puck comes out here. Picked up by the Bears. It's Whiteside. She cricks the pipe.
It's the pipe. What a save down here.
Yeah.
That was the save of the game, no doubt about it.
Perrault with a gorgeous slide over. Made the stop underneath the blocker and the stick area to keep this a 3-goal game. Now the puck comes out in front of the net. Here's a shot. Ooh, that one misses the net. And it will still be in possession of Oswego as Mujeski will put it up here. That one loose, and they score. A rebound that went off a skate was put back in the net this time by Megan Smith. And on the power play now, it's 4-2.
Okay, well, still a 2-goal lead, and that penalty will come off the board, and so we'll be back to a 6-on-5.
Well, it looks like DeVivo is actually back out here now.
Well, for that face-off.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, exactly, for the face-off.
Yeah.
But you never know. He might, now that it's a 2-goal lead, you might just wait until that 2 minutes. We'll see what happens here.
She's going to go as soon as she can. You can see her inching away. That way the Bears have an opportunity here to give a little pressure. How important would that hitting the pipe be?
Oh, yeah. Oof. Don't even say it right now. Oh, my goodness. Well, it's going to be Cooley with a shot towards the net, and it goes wide. It's picked up here briefly by Cunliffe. However, the Bears are going to bring it out into center ice. It will go down, and icing is waved off here. As let's see, as looks like the Lakers don't fully have possession yet. They're still going to keep DeVivo in. SUNY Potsdam still trying to gain possession of it. They do. And Pinty has to go back for this one. Pinty will curl away from danger.
There she goes.
And there it is. Extra attacker on. Here's another wrist shot towards the net. And it's knocked away by Perrault. That one goes out over the blue line. Getting back for it quickly is Smith. Smith with a second goal here for the Lakers has now given her team a little bit of breath. But they still are trailing by 2 goals here with 4 minutes remaining. Picked up here again and given to Jay Seal. Her shot didn't have a lot of rockets off. That one is off the crossbar from Van Dam.
Boy.
She has it again. Another shot knocked away by Perrault. underneath the cave. It comes out, and that one is going to be covered up here, and now the bodies are flying in front of the crease.
Everybody's holding on pretty good, keeping things under control. Nobody wants to take a penalty here. But again, Magali Perron with a couple of very good saves here. 3:37 to go. Faceoff's going to be inside the Bears zone. Bears, I think, holding on to a timeout here too. It'll be interesting to see if they take it here to make sure that they square up on this offensive zone faceoff. Bears have got to make sure that they get through. Well, very good job there on the faceoff positionally.
Yeah, that was Whiteside who did that.
Yeah.
So Van Dam trying to throw it back down into the corner. It's intercepted, stolen in the passing lane, thrown over to the opposite side by Clifford, too far for her intended target, and now it's brought back in here by Parenti. Pass along as Jay Seal gives it back to Van Dam. Parenti. Dory now has that, and it went off of Gamberg. Boyd picks it up. Oh, what a great play there by Jay Seal to keep this one alive for Oswego. That went off the skate of Van Dam, but she has support there. They'll keep it going. Here's a shot. Nice glove save by Perron.
There's another example of just getting that puck away a little bit too early. Hey, look, it's easy from the nickel seats here. I get it. You know, you get a little bit antsy with that puck. You think you have it. It's rolling just a little bit. Just that extra second to calm it down and make sure you clear the zone.
And so far, the Bears have had a little bit of difficulty here in the last 3 minutes or so in doing that. It resulted in a goal on the power play for the Lakers. And another shot that just misses the crossbar on the opposite side. Puck goes down the ice, and they waved it off. All right, so fortunate bounce there for the Bears. However, Oswego State already back down in the offensive zone with the puck. Trying to throw it out in front of the net. Could not connect as the pass was intended for Cooley. On the half wall, it's picked up here by the Bears, and that time it's thrown down the ice. It will result in an icing, as that was Rebecca Kane falling down while doing it.
Well, we'll see if we get a timeout here.
I think maybe just to give them a few seconds.
Well, we're going to give them they want to give them a blow here, I think, because of this group has been on the ice. There it is. That's a good timeout call there. Absolutely. Because they didn't get a chance to change. Minute 53 to go here. Game still seriously in doubt for the Bears, as Oswego has plenty of time to formulate an offensive opportunity. They've had several of them. Game-determining saves by Magali Perron here in the third period. Just spectacular as she was able to hold on to this lead. It was a 6-on-4 power play goal that Oswego would score to bring them to within 2 goals here. But we'll see how this plays out here. Coach Cook, I'm sure, going over defensive responsibilities as much as anything, giving her players a break to catch their wind, because they had been out there for a period of time prior to that icing call.
Well, we have a moment. We'll give you some updated SUNYAC women's hockey sports scorers here, as with 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the third period, Buffalo State still leads Morrisville 3-1, and it looks like it will be official. The final: Plattsburgh State 1, SUNY Potsdam 0. SUNY Canton. I said SUNY Potsdam. Oh my goodness, where am I at right now? And another icing will be called here against the Bears.
I don't mind that. Take as many as you can. Take as much time as you can to get back into the face-off circle.
off the draw. Oswego State has the rubber again as they'll go below the goal mouth. Brought up to the top of the circles. Skating with it. Shot. Ooh, redirected at the last minute as letting it go was Dory. They're going to try another tough angle shot, but that one doesn't go through the crowd and is thrown down the ice. First one back for it is going to be Pinty. Bullock flips it down the ice, and again, another icing called. As you mentioned at this point, shave some time off as much as you can with 1:08 remaining.
Albeit I agree with that 100% because I did say that. I generally like my own ideas, but the thing that happened there is that she had a little bit more time than she thought she needed.
Right.
She could have maybe done something a little bit differently, but boy, I like it up here when I can make those calls.
Van Dam, wrist shot through the screen, and Perrault, boy, we talk about the reflexes and the sliding over. She's doing a beautiful job doing that in this game, and like you mentioned, that is what has kept it here at a 2-goal lead.
Well, there's just, the other part of that too is that her knowledge of and her skills that she has of her position put her in the position to make that save. She's a technically a sound goaltender.
Deflected, they score! In front of the net, it's Cooley getting the tip from J-Seal, and with 53 seconds remaining, this is a 1-goal game.
She was all by herself there. Nothing that Perron could do about that. Good shot from the point. Shot pass, if you will, the redirect there. So we'll see what happens here as we come into the last 53 seconds. Again, face-offs are important. Mark up your player across from you. Don't let them slide.
I'll tell you what, partner, you brought up that whole post, that white side hit. I think you might have...
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness. They called that an ice?
That is not a good play.
She was over the red line.
That is not a good call, and generally speaking, I thought she was over the red line, but they give you the neighborhood call almost all the time anyway. Just not a good play there.
This is going to be a very important face-off here to the left of the Bears netminder as it squirts free. It's picked up here by Van Dam. Wrist shot goes wide. It's going to be picked up here, though, by the Lakers and Smith. Smith trying to get away from 2. She gets pressured and will get some help. However, now it's taken away. Empty net. Can Rebecca King get free? Backhander misses the net, and it's picked up here. However, now coming back the other way with 15 seconds remaining is Oswego State on the right wing side. Cooley drop pass. Wrist shot. That's wide. It goes off the stanchion. Picked up here by Cooley behind the net. Now on the side. One-timer in front of the net. It's loose, and Perron able to come up with it somehow, some way, with 2 seconds remaining.
I don't know. Did that puck actually make it to Riccobelli? I don't know. I don't know if it made it to her or not, but she was right there for the one-timer.
Pun intended. I think it was under Riccobelli's belly when the whistle was called because she was right inside the crease.
Oh.
So here's a face-off. Everybody's going to try to go towards the net. 2 seconds remaining. It's a tie-up. It's a win, and that'll do it as the SUNY Potsdam Bears cling to a 1-goal lead. The final 4-3.
Well, that's a huge win for them. Doing what they needed to do when they had to do it, and backstopped by another outstanding play and positioning by Magali Perron. Timely scoring and just a terrific win. They needed it to keep well within the playoff race here, but a good solid. Hey, let's give credit to Oswego. In my opinion, they dominated the play for the last 2 periods, and it was, there were times, especially the third period when the Bears established themselves. The second period clearly going away Oswego, but when they had to, and I think that, getting the goalie out 7 minutes in, having the penalty take place, that really gave them the momentum to keep things going here. And so the Bears were back on their heels, certainly as the Oswego Lakers played without their goalie for the most part of the 7 minutes.
Just
for the most
about
part.
7.5 minutes. Yeah, a huge tip of the cap here. It was a great effort by the Lakers again. They only, go off the ice here down 4-3 when it was a 4-1 game. So you really have to think that the Bears kind of come out on the lucky side of the break.
Well, we escaped that. There's no doubt about it. And again, you look about that, hitting the pipe there, the penalty, the ill-time penalty. I thought
the icing call there.
The icing call. There were three factors there that really did not go in the favor of the Bears. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, a win is a win is a win, and we can forget about the rest of that for tonight, because they'll be back here tomorrow afternoon for another Suniac contest against Canton. And as you were pointing out, Canton would come up on the short side to the league leader, the league leader Plattsburgh, I believe, in the Suniac Conference.
And only by one goal. So that had to have been a truly spectacular game over there at the Rue House 10 miles away.
Yeah, and that was certainly Plattsburgh sits on top now with 10 points. Not sure about the others, but the Bears would jump up with another with 5 points, and we'll see how the other ones shake out here tonight, as there are other games here. William Smith, they were playing this afternoon. I had them as a 3 o'clock game. William Smith would be playing Cortland. I have it as this afternoon, but it is a 7 o'clock start. I had it at 3.
According to NCAA.com, it would be 7 o'clock.
Right. Well, anyway, that's the way it turned out, and we'll see how she turns out the balance of the day. But we'll be back here at 7 o'clock tonight in just a couple hours as the men face a very tough Canton club. Canton, the Roos last week beat Plattsburgh in Plattsburgh before dropping a closer game in Skidmore. The Bears would not fare well in Skidmore at all, dropping a 7-0 decision down there before losing 3-1 in Plattsburgh last Saturday night. So it's a very important game here tonight in the Suniac standings for the men. But the statistics that we have here today, the scoring got going at 10:07 of the first period when Jalen Castro would get her 8th of the year unassisted. The Bears would get the second goal at 10:23 of that first period. Isabel Boyd would get that goal assisted by Coralie Paradis. Shots on goal in that first period would have the Bears outshooting the Lakers 9-8, maybe a little, some little bus legs. But then in the second period, we stretched it out to a 3-goal lead, as Rebecca Kane did end up getting official credit for that goal, and that would have come at 6:37. Victoria Prue would take the shot from the point. Rachel Kane would pick up the assist as well. Then a wide angle goal at 12:36 of the second period. Will Tilly Petherick would end up getting that goal, and Kayla Dory and Elizabeth Cooley would be picking up the assist. Megan Mills would get a goal in the third period, terrific goal, and that would give the Bears a 4-1 lead. One-on-one play, moved from her right to her left, caught the goaltender moving, and used the defender as a screen. Megan Mills' second goal of the season. Jessica Bullock picking up her 6th assist. Megan Smith would get a power play marker at 14:28 of the third period. Her 8th of the year. Cooley and Jay Seal would pick up assists on that. But then the Lakers would continue to make it interesting with the goaltender out at 19:07. Elizabeth Cooley would pick up an even strength goal. Jay Seal and Van Dam would pick up the assist. Shots on goal in that third period, 19-3 in favor of the Lakers. You know, again, power play, goaltender out, man advantage or advantage there for the last 7.5 minutes, more or less. But shots on goal in the game, Oswego would outshoot the Bears 43-15.
And with that, SUNY Potsdam's women's team now 7-6-2 on the season in the SUNYAC. They go to 2-2-1. And for the Lakers, they are now 9-7-0 overall, 3-2 in a SUNYAC conference play. And we will wrap things up here for this first game of 2 this evening here at Maxey Hall. And we have to give a thanks here to the wonderful staff and volunteers, as always, at Maxey Hall, including Athletic Director Dan Bronson. And we also give a huge thank you to you, wonderful viewers across the sound waves, because none of this is possible without your support. Once again, your final in women's hockey, it was the SUNY Potsdam Bears victorious over the Oswego State Lakers. Final score 4-2. One more time for my partner, former Potsdam Bears coach John Horn. I'm Taylor Salisbury, wishing you a fantastic Friday evening. And if you're going to come back for the second game, we will look to see you at 7 o'clock for the drop of the puck in men's hockey here on PotsdamBears.com.